Nightline begins now with me, Liyanna Hassanel. News making the headlines. Sabah water woes, Datuk Sri Zahid to request special allocation to resolve issue. And Wisma YPR landslide, all landowners to be summoned on Friday. Good morning. The Yang di-Pertuan Agong Al-Sultan Abdullah Riayatuddin Al-Mustafa Billah Shah wished the Buddhists in the country a happy Wesak Day. Also conveying Wesak Day wishes was the Raja Permaisuri Agong Tunku Azizah Aminah Maimunah Iskandaria. The greetings were conveyed through a post on the Istana Negara Facebook page. Their Majesties also expressed hope that the festival will bring peace, happiness and prosperity to all Buddhists. Wesak Day is celebrated by Buddhists to commemorate the birth, enlightenment and death of Gautama Buddha. Also wishing the Buddhists in the country a happy Wesak Day was Prime Minister Datuk Sri Anwar Ibrahim. In a post on his Facebook page, Datuk Sri Anwar said Wesak Day is a big day for the Buddhists to commemorate three important events in the life of Gautama Buddha, namely his birth, enlightenment and death. Buddhists believe that to achieve the highest level of happiness or nirvana is to fight and eliminate greed, hatred and evil. He said this is a universal philosophy that can be emulated to cultivate love, human dignity, the principle of coexistence, respect, and living in peace and harmony. The Prime Minister also said that the various festivals and cultures in the country should provide enlightenment to Malaysians to continue to bring the message of love and peace as well as understanding, as a way to avoid the destruction and extinction of the pluralist way of life in the country. Meanwhile, the current hot weather and lingering spectre of COVID-19 has failed to dampen the Wesak Day celebration in the country, which was observed on a grand scale among Buddhists on Thursday. This was evident in Selangor, where thousands of devotees flocked to the Fo Guangshan Malaysia Buddhist Centre in SS3 Petaling Jaya to celebrate the special occasion in a merry and harmonious atmosphere. For those who were present at the Buddhist Centre, they were pleased to be able to celebrate Wesak Day in a big way this year, after not being able to do so previously during the COVID-19 pandemic.
Yeah, I saw the crowd is a big crowd, and I'm happy for that. The feeling is good, and I'm Buddhist, so even it's hot weather, I'm still coming to the event.
While staying vigilant amid the unpredictable weather and COVID-19 fears, worshippers of all ages performed a number of religious rituals, including lighting candles, bathing the miniature Buddha statue, and offering prayers to mark the birth, enlightenment, and death of Gautama Buddha. Some of the devotees also took the opportunity to make donations, do charity work, as well as becoming volunteers to help handle the massive crowd and activities at the Buddhist Centre.
Okay. Saya berasa sangat panas dan with this.
Tapi panas adik buat apa? Adik minum air ke tak?
Ada. Banyak air.
Kalau compare this year lagi ramai loh.
Lagi ramai.
Because 2020 kita kan MCO. Ini 2021 masih orang takut lagi kan.
Aside from the devotees, non-Buddhist visitors also joined the celebration in the spirit of togetherness.
Sama ada panas ke, hujan ke, ini perayaan Hari Wesak. Kita kena datang untuk memberi penghormatan kepada kita punya Buddha. So, saya ini walaupun saya bukan seorang Buddhis, saya seorang Kristian, saya pun datang pasal kita muhibah.
Datuk Sri Ahmad Zahid Hamidi will request a special allocation to resolve the long-running water supply issue in Sabah. The Deputy Prime Minister said the special provision was necessary to ensure that everyone living in Sabah, especially those in the rural areas, received clean water. Speaking to the media after attending a ceremony at MRSM Kota Kinabalu, which is now known as MRSM Tan Sri Musa Aman, Datuk Sri Zahid, who is also the Rural and Regional Development Minister, said the government was aware of the situation regarding water supply in Sabah, and they have received complaints from the people, especially during the festive season. He stressed that the federal government had also allocated 600 million ringgit to solve infrastructure issues in Sabah, including the Rural Water Supply or BALB project, Rural Electricity Supply BELB project, as well as renovating dilapidated houses. The Deputy Prime Minister expressed hope that the allocation will be able to solve the problems faced by the people, especially those related to water, roads and electricity, adding that to ensure everything runs smoothly, political stability needs to be maintained. Datuk Sri Zahid also said that he would monitor the 600 million ringgit allocation to ensure that it had a desired impact on the state.
Setelah mengadakan perbincangan dengan Yang Berhormat Perdana Menteri untuk memberikan tumpuan dan perhatian terhadap 3 daerah termiskin di Sabah ini supaya mereka yang juga berhak untuk memperolehi peruntukan bagi memajukan terutamanya sektor-sektor yang saya nyatakan tadi agar kawasan termiskin ini dapat dinaikkan taraf.
The 3 poorest districts in Sabah are Pitas, Kota Marudu and Tongot. He said Prime Minister Datuk Sri Anwar Ibrahim and the federal government had a goal to ensure that zero poverty in the country could be achieved this year. And as such, the poor districts in Sabah should be uplifted with various development projects, as well as the socio-economic development of the people. Development in terms of industries will be carried out in collaboration with the Investment, Trade and Industry Ministry. Entrepreneurship in collaboration with the Entrepreneurship and Cooperative Development Ministry, as well as several other collaborations, including with the Works Ministry to improve roads. On another matter, Datuk Sri Zahid urged airlines to set the price of festive season flight tickets for Sabah and Sarawak based on corporate social responsibility and not just on demand and supply. He said the issue of expensive flight ticket prices had been discussed at the cabinet level and various efforts had been made by Prime Minister Datuk Sri Anwar Ibrahim and the federal government to address the problem.
Dan Menteri Pengangkutan telah berbincang dengan syarikat-syarikat penerbangan ya, supaya tidak menggunakan asas terhadap airfare ini mengikut supply and demand, tetapi mesti ada unsur CSR kepadanya dan kita harap di perayaan-perayaan mendatang perkara ini dapat diatasi dengan segera.
He stressed that the government is concerned about the problems faced, especially the cost of flights for people from Sabah and Sarawak working in the peninsula, and said the Transport Ministry has been asked to pay attention to the issue, especially during the upcoming Keamatan Festival and Gawai Day celebrations. Datuk Sri Zahid added, apart from that, establishing a boutique airline connecting the peninsula, Sabah and Sarawak is also one of the measures which can ensure that the price of flight tickets is competitive. Asked about Sabah First Deputy Chief Minister Datuk Sri Jeffrey Kitingan's proposal regarding the creation of the Borneo Civil Aviation Authority to regulate the aviation industry in Sabah and Sarawak, he said that he hoped that the matter would be brought to the cabinet for discussion. The Kuala Lumpur City Hall DBKL will summon all landowners near the site of the landslide incident near Wisma YPR at Jalan Said Putra on Friday. Mayor Datuk Kamaruzaman Mat Saleh said that DBKL will also hold discussions with consultants and landowners to carry out soil inspection works.
Besok kita akan panggil semua pemilik tanah dan mengarahkan supaya buat kerja-kerja untuk membaiki runtuhan tersebut. So bagi yang structure yang berada di kawasan reserve jalan, so insyaallah pihak DBKL akan mengambil tindakan segera.
Datuk Kamarulzaman told the media after inspecting the site of the landslide that the canvas installation work to stabilize the soil structure had been completed on Thursday. He also stated that they will monitor and ensure safety at the site at all times. Earlier, it was reported that a 69-year-old security guard was found dead after a landslide occurred at a Wisma YPR in Taman Seputeh after midnight on Thursday. A search and rescue SAR operation involving the Fire and Rescue Department, police as well as the Malaysian Civil Defence Force APM located the victim's body, which was buried 3 meters deep in the rubble of a collapsed retaining wall at 6:23 a.m. Meanwhile, the Works Ministry KKR is ready to offer any assistance within its capacity with regards to the Wisma YPR landslide incident, if requested by the relevant party. Its Minister Datuk Sri Alexander Nanta Linggi, who said this in a Facebook posting after inspecting the site of the incident on Thursday, also expressed his sympathy and condolences to the family of the security guard who died in the incident. According to him, the collapse of a retaining wall occurred at a privately owned premises under the purview of DBKL, and that the incident was under the provisions of the Street, Drainage and Building Act, as well as several related bylaws. However, Datuk Sri Nanta said the ministry had yet to receive any request for help from the premises owner. In spite of this, he was made to understand that the local authority had the right to request the owner of the premises involved to appoint a consultant to investigate, prepare a report, and submit the repair method for approval. The minister added while cleanup work at the site had been carried out, he urged all parties to convey information immediately if they see or become aware of any ground movement to prevent any untoward incident following the current unpredictable weather conditions. Datuk Sri Anwar Ibrahim on Wednesday visited the ongoing Royal Malaysia Police Open Championship 2023 Level 3 shooting tournament and the tournament's facilities at the Shapadu shooting range in Putrajaya. The Prime Minister spent about 30 minutes at the shooting range, accompanied by Home Minister Datuk Sri Saifuddin Nasution Ismail and Deputy Inspector General of Police Tan Sri Razaruddin Hussein. Among the facilities available at the site are a clubhouse and a gun testing site. The 7-day tournament will conclude this Sunday and will enter the Malaysia Book of Records as the shooting tournament that recorded the highest number of participants. In addition to 787 participants, the tournament, which was organized for the first time in the country, also recorded participation from 7 countries, including Indonesia, Thailand, UAE, Hong Kong, Singapore, and the Philippines. When we come back, more than a dozen dead after deadly collision on Egyptian highway. United Kingdom as the coronation of King Charles III and Queen Consort Camilla, which will take place at Westminster Abbey nears. Being a state event, the guest list for the coronation ceremony on May 6th was made by the government. Eminent dignitaries include the Prime Minister, representatives from the Parliament houses, heads of state and other royals from across the globe. Although US President Joe Biden will not be present, First Lady Jill Biden will be attending on his behalf. The first foreign royal to confirm their attendance was Prince Albert II of Monaco, who will be joined by his wife, Princess Charlene, as well as Crown Prince Fumihito and Crown Princess Kiko of Japan, who have departed Tokyo's Haneda Airport en route to Britain. Hours after the Japanese royals left Tokyo, it was announced that Jordanian couple King Abdullah and Queen Rania were also en route to London, where they will join other notable esteemed guests and state figures. The 2,000 invitees to the coronation include 850 community representatives for their charitable endeavours and recipients of the British Empire Medal for their hands-on community service. Earlier, Yang di-Pertuan Agong Al-Sultan Abdullah Riayatuddin Al-Mustafa Billah Shah and Raja Permaisuri Agong Tunku Azizah Aminah Maimunah Iskandariyah arrived in London on Wednesday for a special visit until May 14th. The special aircraft carrying the King and Queen and their delegation touched down at Luton Airport, London at 4:30 a.m. Malaysia time. Upon arrival, Al-Sultan Abdullah and Tunku Azizah were greeted by Buckingham Palace's representative, Deputy Lord Lieutenant Elizabeth Slack, and Foreign Secretary Special Representative David Gordon MacLeod, as well as Malaysian High Commissioner to the United Kingdom, Datuk Zakri Jaafar, and his wife, Datin Noraini Abdul Rahman. The King and Queen's special visit to London was at the invitation of King Charles III to attend the coronation ceremony at Westminster Abbey on May 6th. Al-Sultan Abdullah and Tunku Azizah are also scheduled to attend a reception hosted by King Charles III at Buckingham Palace on Friday. The last time they were at Buckingham Palace was on October 12th last year for an audience with King Charles III following their special visit to London from October 10th to 16th. In other news, at least 25 people were killed and 23 others injured after a bus crashed into a truck on Karga Asyut Road in southern Egypt Thursday morning. The accident occurred on Asyut Karga Highway, some 400 kilometers southwest of Cairo, a New Valley province that shares a long border with neighboring country Libya. 26 ambulances were dispatched to the scene to transfer the injured to nearby hospitals. The cause of the incident is still under investigation. Authorities have now banned heavy transport vehicles from driving on the highway following the accident. Reckless driving, lax traffic rules, and poor road conditions caused many road crashes in Egypt, leaving 7,101 people dead in 2021. The Islamabad High Court IHC on Thursday extended Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf PTI chairman Imran Khan's protective bail in 9 cases registered under terrorism charges, attempted murder and vandalism. Imran appeared before a 2-member bench headed by IHC Chief Justice Amir Farooq amid tight security, as the court approved Imran's interim bail in 2 cases until May 9th. While extending his protective bail in 7 terrorism cases until May 14th. They also ordered him to approach the relevant court within 10 days. On April 18th, the IHC had extended Imran's bail in 8 cases till May 3rd. The former Prime Minister, however, failed to appear. The IHC had granted him more time due to his medical condition, but issued a warning that his bail pleas would be dismissed if he failed to do so. Sports football, the DFB Pokal Cup. Eintracht Frankfurt came from behind to beat hosts Stuttgart 3-2 in an advance to the final against defending champions RB Leipzig. Thiago Thomas put Stuttgart in front after 19 minutes, smashing in Joscha Wagnermann's cutback pass. Eintracht had to wait till 6 minutes into the second half to draw level through Evan Ndika's half volley, before Daichi Kamada gave the lead to the visitors 4 minutes later, capping a fine solo run with a low shot that found the bottom corner of the net. Rondel Kolo Muani then made it 3-1 in the 77th minute from the spot after he was brought down inside the area by Stuttgart's goalkeeper Fabian Bredlow. Enzo Millet cut the deficit to a single goal 6 minutes later, but the Reds' hopes of completing a comeback suffered a blow moments later when Borna Sosa picked up a second booking in quick succession for a foul on Buta. The 3-2 scoreline remained till the final whistle, giving Eintracht a spot in the final where Leipzig awaits them. Lionel Messi is expected to leave Paris SaintGermain at the end of the current season when his contract with the French League One champions comes to an end. Messi had an option to extend his contract by another year after 2 seasons with PSG, but the World Cup winner's father, Jorge, reportedly informed the capital club a few weeks ago that he will be leaving at the end of the current campaign. PSG handed the 35-year-old a 2-game suspension on Tuesday for a trip to Saudi Arabia that had not been sanctioned by the club. Messi has been linked in recent weeks to moves to Saudi side Al Hilal and Inter Miami in the MLS, as well as a return to Camp Nou with Barcelona. Trailer driver flung out of his trailer. The details when we come back. The Education Ministry has ordered all institutions under its purview to suspend all outdoor activities in light of the hot weather the country is experiencing. In a post on its Facebook page, the ministry said the directive includes activities such as cross-country, marching, sports, games, camping, as well as teaching and learning outside the classroom. Its Minister Fadlina Siddiq said the circular was issued to all institutions under the ministry to prevent students and teachers from being exposed to heat stroke. The order came into effect on Wednesday and must be obeyed by all head teachers and principals. The circular also included new guidelines for students and teachers, including the allowances for sports attire to be used by teachers and students instead of uniforms. The ministry had recently announced that teachers and students could ditch their uniforms for sports attire if they wanted to during the hot weather. Those who chose to continue wearing their uniforms were not required to wear ties. Administrators were also given the autonomy to close their schools should temperatures in their area rise above 37 degrees Celsius for 3 consecutive days. Meanwhile, the Malaysian Fire and Rescue Department has identified a total of 406 hotspots across the country via satellite. Its Director of Fire and Rescue Operations, Dato Ahmad Irzam Osman, said periodic monitoring, either through patrols or aerial surveys using helicopters or drones, was being carried out by the department, in collaboration with the Forestry Department and the Environment Department to ensure the situation remains under control. According to Dato' Irzam, the areas include Mukah and Miri in Sarawak, Dungun and Kemaman in Terengganu, Kuantan in Pahang, Pasir Mas and Baco in Kelantan, and the Kuala Langat Utara Forest Reserve. Whereas a level 1 hot weather status has been detected in 2 areas, namely Padang Terap in Kedah and Jempol in Negeri Sembilan. Residents in the affected areas have been reminded to be alert as the maximum daily temperature has reached 35 to 37 degrees Celsius for 3 consecutive days. Meanwhile, Dato' Irzam said a total of 4,106 cases of open burning were recorded until last March, and the figure is expected to increase further following the hot weather forecast until next August, compared to 9,596 cases recorded last year. He said peatland fires are also categorized as open burning as they involve large-scale burning that may be triggered due to the current weather conditions. The department, he said, is prepared in terms of fire logistics equipment and personnel to handle open burning cases, which are expected to increase this year due to the hot weather. A 49-year-old man was badly injured when the car carrier trailer he was driving was involved in an accident on the North-South Expressway near Senawang on Thursday. The victim sustained serious head injuries after he was flung out of the vehicle when it crashed while heading to Johor Bahru from Tanjung Malim in the 10:15 a.m. incident. It was believed that the trailer suddenly went out of control and hit an overpass pillar on the left side of the highway before it slammed into the highway divider. The impact of the crash also caused the trailer's engine to be dislodged, while 3 of the 6 brand-new Proton cars it was hauling fell onto the road, causing major damage to the vehicles. The scene, which resulted in heavy congestion on the expressway for more than 2 hours, also caught some passing motorists by surprise, as they thought the trailer had rammed into the 3 cars. Seremban District Police Chief ACP Nanda Ma'raf said the victim had been taken to Tuanku Jaafar Hospital for treatment, while the cause of the accident is still being investigated under the Road Transport Act. In Negeri Sembilan, a man has been remanded for 7 days to assist in the investigation into a robbery case in Kuala Pilah on Wednesday, where 2 jewellery suppliers lost a delivery worth about 1.8 million ringgit to 2 armed men behind a goldsmith shop. Kuala Pilah Deputy District Police Chief Deputy Superintendent Sharul Anwar Abdul Wahab said the 50-year-old suspect was nabbed in the district at about 10 p.m. on Wednesday. And based on the man's statement, police are in the process of ascertaining the identity of another suspect, as well as other individuals who might be involved in the case. In the 11 a.m. robbery, the 2 jewellery traders were ambushed by 2 masked men armed with barang in the back lane of the goldsmith shop. The robbers escaped with the loot in a silver car. As Nightline draws to a close this time around, let's take a look as a giant replica of St. Edward's crown was installed at London's Marble Arch on Thursday, ahead of King Charles' coronation. With that, I'm Hassanel. Thank you for watching and stay safe, Malaysia.